Hello everyone, I'm Mehmet from Memli Coffee Lab, and today I'm going to introduce you to our latest tasting box. As you know, over the last couple of weeks we have released a couple of lots from Pillcocaja, and it's time to bundle them up together for a unique tasting set. I want to highlight the work of Ana Maria and Nicola Crespo, as well as all the workers at the farm who created a wonderful lineup with distinctive flavors, always pushing the boundaries of innovation and of flavor quality. As you know, Pillcocaja is one of my favorite farms, and we are striving to work in partnership with other producers around the world in the same matter with quality, focus, innovation, and sustainability. All those coffees have been hand harvested by 40 women around the area of Pillcocaja, and we have different lots representing different process and flavor profile. So let's start with, let's start with our sustainable profile. This coffee is the first lot that we have released, lot number 14. And it's a coffee that is a blend between Typica variety and Ethiopia in a natural processed way. So here, naturally processed on African bed. So all the coffees are dried ultimately on a slow dry on African beds. And they have different locations based on if it's the coolest area or the hottest area, based on how long that, that drying stage should be. This is a great introduction to Pillcocaja because you can taste, an approachable sweetness like sugarcane with a praline finish here. You really have this sweet sugarcane flavor with that nuttiness, praline, chocolatey finish. And in between that sugary first sip and the lasting praline finish, you have a very, very delicate tropical fruit and floral that reminds you of those Ethiopia variety or those Typica floral aspects. So you really have here a nice tropical fruity floral characteristics paired well with a sweet, sugary, and nutty finish. All right, after lot number 14, let's do lot number 12. Number 12 is an Ethiope Red Honey. So it's Ethiopian landrace variety, planted in Ecuador and processed in the red honey process. So where we remove the skin, but not completely, about 50, 60%-ish. And once again, dried on African table. Here, obviously, it's much more floral forward. It's much more that fruity, floral, bright coffee that you can find from Ethiopia sometimes. So zesty acidity, a very juicy, lively coffee. Lot number 12 tastes like white grape, very floral, like lilies, and a little bit of sugar as well. That's muscovado, brown sugar that you have on the finish. You always have that sweet aspect. That's why all the coffees from Pillcocaja, from Ecuador here, you have this really sugary, candy-like sweetness that I love. This is one of my favorites because when you taste it, you don't know if it's a Guji or a South American coffee. It's an Ethiopian coffee planted in Ecuador with a red honey process to elevate those flavors. It's a wonderful work of art that they have been doing at Pillcocaja to create those flavor and sensory profiles. Love it. And if you compare, of course, you have more sweetness and fruitiness from the natural process than the red honey Ethiopia here, which is more delicate, but juicier, lively. Let's do lot number 5 that we have released before going to lot number 6, our latest profile. This one is I always say it's my favorite, but this one is truly a unique coffee because it's a single variety, Typica Natural process, and this one is one of those examples of the clean natural where you can taste those raspberries. There's a pomegranate syrup floral once again, slightly, and a chocolate finish. This reminds me of fine pastries where you have these sweet elements, but also that fruitiness, that red fruit like raspberry, pomegranate, paired well with chocolate, right? Because often when you eat some dessert, the chocolate part can overpower the fruity part, but this is perfectly balanced. Absolutely no funkiness, no fermenty side, but a clean, round sweetness with a round brightness to it. I can drink that every day. And compared to the other ones, of course, it has more red fruits, and it's closer to the lot number 14. But lot number 14 has more of that nuttiness and some florality that the lot number 5 here doesn't have, because this is a pure Typica, so not Ethiopia variety here, just Typica, fully natural. And last but not the least, our Typica Washed profile. Lot number 6. Why we released this one the last? Because we only have a little bit left. It has that kind of cleanliness of a classic washed with the Typica from Ecuador. This is a Typica classic washed coffee. So the pulp washed on tanks and then dried for 9 to 12 to 15 days, depending on the weather. And here, if you are missing those clean, sweet wash process, that's represent the best, the terroir of Pillcocaja and Ecuador here. You have it here, you have it. Oh my God, so good. It goes from it's a really, really amazing cup of coffee with a little bit of herbal tea, like oolong tea, in the beginning. But then you have some melon fruitiness, so very soft melon. And the finish, this meringue, sweet, super sweet finish with this coffee. They're all roasted quite light. And they all represent different aspects of Pillcocaja. Here we are, our Pillcocaja tasting set. We only have 20 boxes available for this this year. The option to have a sample size, like the little solo sample tubes, or 4 bags of 250 grams each. And as I explained, each one of them is truly unique. So taste it side by side, do a little tasting at home to really not just taste the best of Ecuador, but also train your palate on tasting different lots from the exact same farm. Here, sweet raspberries, pomegranate, bit of floral, chocolate finish. Reminds me of the best, fine patisserie that you have, and you can pair this one with amazing dessert. This one is really close, and I will say to, without doubt, very close to some of those fine geishas, but it reminds me of more that mindfulness aspect that that Memli Coffee Lab is part of. You really need to slow down and be mindful when you taste this particular washed Typica to get the oolong tea, the tropical fruit like melon and meringue sweetness. Then we have our Ethiope Red Honey, lot number 12. Very bright, very champagne-like, very zesty. This is the brightest of all, and it's more like a kind of a celebratory coffee, almost like a white wine. And then we have our sustainable profile, a mix of Typica and Ethiopia, lot number 14, natural process. best signature of Pillcocaja, best introduction to Pillcocaja. It's more like a crowd pleaser. And then we have your bright kind of floral forward coffee here. The very delicate, high quality Typica single variety, single origin, single estate washed coffee, showcase of the terroir from Pillcocaja. And at least the very sweet, but not funky, Typica Natural. Love these coffees. Delicious. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with our coffee friends so that they can enjoy more deliciousness from Ecuador. All those coffees, including the tasting set, will be on a link in our description below. Feel free to ask any question in the comments, and see you next time for more coffee. My favorite.